what are the trends that you're seeing? Or let me just back up for a second. So if you're a seller and want to improve the sale price of your property, or if you're a buyer and you're looking for a deal, it's often said that painting is the single most economical thing you can do to improve your property. Is that still the case?
Yeah, I mean that's the sort of baseline thing that when I look at units that a unit that's going on the market for sale or rental, that's like sort of the baseline thing. And even getting more sort of baseline is just paint the walls. You know, just painting the walls, that's like the sort of base thing. And then going up from there, maybe you're doing touch-ups on the trim, maybe you're painting the trim. But yeah, the painting is probably the most popular request we get. Right next to it's usually painting plus either say steam cleaning or regrouting or doing some stain remover on bathroom tiles, you know, just in
Got it.
re-siliconing them. That's probably the two most popular things.
Right. And that's what we that's what we call you for all the time.
Yeah.
To do that stuff. That's right. I forgot about the steam cleaning and regrouting the bathroom, which is really helpful. Now, we've always been, kind of the mindset of, if it's a pre-war, you paint it decorator white. If it's a modern apartment, you paint it kind of bright white or a loft. Um, I have noticed that kind of accent color walls are kind of coming into to vogue right now. Do you recommend doing anything like that, or do you still recommend just keeping it neutral for the new buyer, or what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I know your team does or has in the past done a bunch of staging stuff. So I think if they're working with
Right.
someone like you that's able to give them design direction in terms of like, okay, we think an accent wall could look there. Like leaving an accent wall up to somebody who's trying to get a place ready for sale. I mean, might you probably want professional direction on this, you know. But most of the time, we're just painting stuff white. We do have a decorator's white, sometimes white dove, sometimes just a plain Benjamin Moore white. But there is a stager we've worked with in the past that does we start seeing colors and accent walls when we work with
Mhm.
stagers, or again a team like yours that does some of the staging in house. So yeah, we'll see grays are fairly popular, some type of gray throughout a space when we're working with the stager nowadays. Yeah, but
Oh,
oftentimes it's just
interesting.
white. Yeah.
Just light or off white or something. Yeah, and we still do the styling and staging. That's one of our calling cards. So what do you like? And oftentimes, and this is where, ask the expert. We try to be open and transparent on things, right? So when we're selling something, oftentimes you and I will discuss that we're painting it to sell versus painting it to live in, which is a little bit more economical for the seller.
Yeah.
And what is the difference on that versus, I guess, painting to sell versus painting to
Yeah,
live in?
sure. As far as process, we'll do, you know what, look, when somebody's painting to sell, you want to do, you obviously know this, you want to do the minimum possible to really give it some curb appeal, to really get it ready to put on the market, right? So that might be, we would use, so typically in a place that they're getting ready to sell, we'll use a different lot. One of the big changes will be the line of paint that we use. We'd use a
Hmm.
we would be painting fewer surfaces in a more in a more economical line of paint, right? So we would start with, if we can just do the walls, we would just do the walls, and we would be using, say, a Benjamin Moore Ultra Spec, which is their higher grade commercial paint. We would try to minimize the number of sheen changes. So if nobody's going to be using the place, we might do, or not, no, but if you're going to be, I should say, if you're going to be showing the place, we'd probably use we'd probably try to, we may want to go flat on the walls, flat on the base molding, but because while it's being shown, you're going to be touching the doors and going in between rooms, we might use an eggshell on the door frames and the doors. So that might keep the price down by not having to change sheen between walls and base molding. So there's little
Got
things
it.
that allow us to bring the price down a bit so that it shows well, so that it stands up to a showing. But then ultimately, when somebody moves in, they're going to put their own mark on the place and they're going to do something to it anyway. So we try to, that's how we sort of like try to adjust in order to accommodate somebody who's looking to sell.